Right, Vince, we're in the garage now. That's why the colour's a little bit off, because as you know the garage is green and white, so that's the reflection. Now then, I've taken note of what you said in your reply, and you did say that to make sure that the floats are the correct height in the float bowl and that the level of the fuel must be below the level of the jet. Well, at the moment I haven't got the jet in there, but what I have done, because that's where the fuel comes in, just under there. Let me show you it. That's the level there of the jet. The jet is just slightly above there. But what I've found is this is just the same as doing what you said, but I've done it in an easier, simplified way. If I press the float bowl down at that height now, if I press the float down, you'll see fuel starts coming out the bottom of the jet. So I do know that the float doesn't need to be very much higher than that before it creates a problem. Now this one, again, this is the front carburetor. I can press the float down. I'll press that down with my finger, just a fraction, and you can see fuel starts leaking out of that one. So obviously you've solved the problem for me, because obviously the floats was too high in the float bowl. Now I'm going to adjust it so that the float, that you know what I mean, the flap that shuts off the fuel, sorry, the flap that shuts off the fuel under the float. I've got to adjust that height now so that it's very much just like it is there. And I would have expected the fuel to to be higher up in the bowl, but obviously it isn't. I think the fuel height, going on by the depth of the float, I'm going to measure them like you said, but I think the fuel height is there. I would have assumed there would have been more fuel in the bowl, but I think the fuel height is just about here. So I can agree with what you say there, and that is probably the reason why it's been leaking out of the jet, because I didn't think of the fact that it has to be lower than the height of the jet. So the height of the jet's about there, and the fuel height is about there, so it is lower. So that's a good point. Now I'm going to put it all back together again, the float bowls, and just see if that makes a difference. So thanks very much for that, Vince. It's been a great help so far. I'm going to have another go and see how it goes. Thank you.